is the common sense? You think President is going to tell us Iran is controlling the Strait of Hormuz right in the midterm and this and that? He has to tell us that we're winning. He has to give us something for the voting. It's a sad. Iran is looking for stay in power and cash out on this situation. United States is working for the politics, and 8 to 10, 20 people get executed every night. You're not seeing my page, and I'm heartbroken because you see these young girls, young guys, they are executed for what? You know how many people, 350 people they killed a few nights ago in the city of Isfahan? 600 something they were injured. They shoot this guy, 22 years old, in the heart, and they shoot his friend next to him with the BB guns or, shotguns. They spread all those little bullets and go all up to his face. And he's blonde. But this is the price they do. And they're not giving up. They are not giving up. They says everybody, every Iranian, they owe to this country. And we give our death, maybe we clear our own, what did we owe to this country. Well, same thing happened. 1977, 78, these people fall for it. The lefties and idiots in Iran, mainly the college students, they thought the grass is greener on the other side. They did this, and in 47 years, this nation, young nation, it's paying the price.
So the bottom line, Alan, is you believe that when the President of the United States says things such as, again, direct quote, we're going to beat the fucking shit out of them, that the mullahs even pay attention to that or care? Do you think it's scaring them?
No, are you kidding me? No. They know both of them. They having a show for certain group in Iran, and President Trump has a show for the American. That's it.
It's all performative. Thank you, Alan. We'll go to Marshall, followed by Scott.
Hey, Gary.
I don't put a bunch of stock in his saber rattle. He criticized Obama for putting the red line on the table and then not adhering to it. He frequently gets frustrated and says, I want to destroy this or that. I don't put a lot of stock in people who just get on TV and say, I'm going to destroy this or that. I'll just wait until I actually do it. So I don't put much stock in his, oh my gosh, we're finally coming to get you. No, we've been getting you for the last 4 or 5 months, and it's not done much. And so it strikes me as rather impotent to get on TV and say, bring you to your knees in a matter of hours. Well, if that were the truth, you'd have done it already. So I don't have much faith in it.
I got no faith in people that
So
talk to
what
me.
do you say, Marshall, to Alan?
I hate him!
That it's all performative.
It's not bad!
Domestic consumption. And the mullahs understand that, and it means nothing to them, and it causes us to gather the critical thinking forum to try to analyze what he said, which is really what his intent is.
I'm not sure how entirely performative it is. I think he actually may believe some of the stuff that's coming out of his mouth. I just find it to be impotent.
Donald Trump is impotent.
The person who has a bigger doesn't brag about having a bigger
How
They
braggadocio!
pull the bigger gun out and use it when they have to.
Marshall's the real G.
Talk about it.
Marshall's the real G. He's the real mafia. Marshall's the real genius, the strategic.
And he does.
Michael Corleone. I'm a girl. My pronoun is girl.
He's one of not being honest, and so I have a very hard time in taking it seriously. To me,
we
it's
can't
just,
take that seriously.
yet another thing the president
It's all
has
about
opened his mouth and flaxed his gums about.
Hello?
I don't know. I don't have any.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Fuck it, I don't know.
People want the regime to
Hello?
heal in a matter of hours. He wouldn't be spending billions of dollars a day. He would have just brought them to heal. Which makes me think he is just whining. And in my personal life, I can't stand whining.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think it is weak-kneed. I think it is
Marshall's so strong in the
annoying,
knees.
irritating. I don't know how much this is
Whining.
internal
But are you fucking whining right now, projection
There's
alert?
part of this to me which seems like maybe it's not for internal consumption, maybe it's just Trump being Trump. And he's
Trump
mad,
being
so he's
Trump.
gonna get on TV and say a bunch of stupid stuff. So, I don't know. If he were serious, he'd already done something about it. Just saying you're gonna do something strikes me as weak-kneed. Strikes me as, paper tiger is what comes to mind for me.
Well, we know that this is an atypical presidency, and we also know
It's
that
not normal.
this would be
But
an
things
atypical
go back to
presidency,
normal.
and the majority of people voted in the manner in which they did in the states that resulted in electoral college votes that caused for him to be returned to the Oval Office.
Yeah.
So
He wins both the electoral college and the popular vote, right?
right, yeah, you got the popular vote also this time.
Yeah,
Right, so even if we didn't have the electoral college, he would have been elected. We know it's atypical, we know that a lot of people like it when it's atypical. You're right that in previous iterations of presidencies, there would be a massive attack, and after the massive attack was underway, there would be an Oval Office address to the nation, my fellow Americans. I have today ordered a massive attack on Iran. We are doing this, and this. May God bless the United States of America, and then fade to black. Not this president. So perhaps there are those, as has been expressed on the stage occasionally, that this is what they want, this kind of bravado. They want, go out and win one for the coach kind of locker room talk that geeks up the football players to go out there on the gridiron and win. That may very well be the case for some people, but I think many people are with you, Marshall. But with regard to how the Iranian leadership views this, what do you reckon their view of it?
Probably the same as mine. Talk's cheap.
Marshall speaks for the
I'm
Iranians.
certainly good at talking. So, talk is extremely cheap. It doesn't take anything.
Then you're worth nothing for it.
Be bombastic or blustery. All it takes is somebody to flap their tongues.
Thank you, Marshall. We'll go to Scott, followed by Yossi.
So I think, look, I mean, I feel like I'm so repetitive. I say the same things now all the time on this show. You're not gonna, I think Trump looks at the regime, I think, through eyes that are, again, sort of like liberal Western eyes. Not that, I think Trump is an illiberal figure, but I mean, I think he looks at them like he's dealing with a Western liberal democracy that cares about its people, whose leadership feels political pressure as things get worse in their country, as facts on the ground are tough, as economic situations are tough. I don't think that's the case here, And so, when a liberal regime fights an illiberal autocratic regime, the illiberal autocratic regime has the advantage of having strong stomachs and being able to take a beating, because Russia's the same way, right? I mean, largely, you have the advantage of, you don't have to really put the popular opinion or the lives of your people as a top priority.
Scott, I have to ask you one question.
You have to wait, sir. You have to wait, sir, your turn.
Why Trump makes bomb?
Oh, okay.
Are
Thank
you crazy?
Thank you very much.
It could have been
Go ahead,
Kitover.
Scott.
I don't know. So I think that's a reality, right? And I think that Trump has misreads. It's like a poker player. I don't know how much poker anybody's played, but they the old adage in Casino Royale, great James Bond movie, probably the best in the franchise. James Bond says to this woman who doesn't know anything about poker, says, "You never play your cards. You always play the man across from you." And a lot is true, unless you have straight flush or something, and then sometimes you do play the cards. But no, largely, you're playing a game where you're trying to read the person, and he's just consistently misreading, I think, the regime. So, on that regard, and I think, you can win a lot of battles and lose a war, which we saw in Vietnam. How many battles did we lose, right? This can happen, right? Folks who are fans of
If
the war
it's nothing, then why did you come back to comment and tell me it's nothing? Is that a projection?
I agree. I don't deny that. The question is that the goal? Is that the strategy?
Scott is not a
Is that the
denier.
outcome? I mean, if the outcome is regime change, I don't know that just the weakening is going to do it. If it's to get the nuclear material, I definitely think that's not going to do it. Unless we just utterly conquer them, which is going to take boots on the ground, which I don't think we're going to do. I don't know what the answer is.
Okay, but to the question du jour, how do you reckon the mullahs are reacting to this latest verbal salvo from the president?
Yeah, I think. Look, I think they're dug in. How serious do you think they're taking Trump? How serious does anybody take Trump with the bluster? You never know what he's going to say from one day to the next. Now, I think his fans would say that's an advantage. He's unpredictable, right? And, people say that's what we need, an unpredictable disruptor. I think his critics would say he's a bullshit artist. And maybe his threats aren't as effective because, he says 16 things a day and puts it all on social media. That's the thing. How effective is negotiation stuff?
Dad? No, I'm not your dad. You gotta get on your phone and call your daddy. This is the wrong phone call for daddy.
Taking you seriously. I don't know. Maybe they're moving.
I don't know.
Terrified.
I don't know.
It doesn't strike me. It doesn't feel that way to me. But what do I know? But it doesn't. They seem pretty defiant, right? They don't seem as though, at least rhetorically, that they're buckling or something.
Thank you, Scott. We'll go to Yasi, followed by Amir.
So the last time Anson mentioned something about bringing all Americans together to support this war was on point. It was perfect. And I really want him to repeat what he said, because that's exactly what it needs to be happening. So for the best, the countries, like the regimes, like Iranian regime, you cannot bomb them. You cannot threaten them. They thrive on it.
Oops, did we lose you, Yasi?
I think so.
Democracy. Okay, so especially towards foreign attacks, and especially towards Israel and America, this whole war against imperialism and Zionism, that's it. So military force, at some point, even strengthened of this regime, and at some point, gathered people, the nationalists around the flag. So, what can be done? What Trump is doing is by taking the military action and diplomacy and the blockade and all that. It's effective. It's going to take a long time. I'm not sure if it's in Trump's, attention span or but what is more effective is the targeted sanctions. It's like, I'm saying this for people who are against the war, who still believe that diplomacy with a legitimate, regime is possible. So the whole sanction, a general sanction, is not working. It affects and harms the general population. But targeted sanctions against specific individuals, against companies, against organizations, against IRGC, against that oppression power, against those who works in the laws, in the legal system, and have like they execute people on daily basis. Those are the targets. Their funds, like where, uh, you know, the resources, uh, the way that they fund their proxies, the Houthis at this moment. Those are the where the sanctions should be, not like the population in general, because again that would work for in benefit of the narrative created by the regime. This is a regime that worked for 47 years by creating a narrative. That's how they gained legitimacy, and especially right now, like they were able to use this whole movement against Israel and like this pro-Palestine thing, that like this re-emerge of that movement is so beneficial to this murderous regime that they use them to do more executions on daily basis, to put more pressure on people, to arrest more people, to call them, spies, like and everything and all of that. So the sanctions, targeted sanctions, supporting supporting the any military action, like any negativity, anything. It's been reflected on it, like you said, you want to be in a room, like a Farsi speaker in a room, when the regime people they're talking. That's what they're talking. They consider this victory. As long as they stand and they see people against this war in Western Hemisphere, they consider it a victory. That's what victory means to them. As long as they stand, it's victory. They don't need to respond to people. They're not a government. They're not a state so that they have people to govern and to respond to. The problem is, like, Trump is looking at them as a legitimate government. This is this is putting the whole thing in the wrong frame and looking at it with the wrong lens. So you cannot bring them to negotiation table. This is the thing. What they're doing at the moment, like you give them in a silver plate the best MOU possible. The whole world was complaining about it. So, and look what happened. 2 days later, they broke the ceasefire. They broke the first rule on the MOU. Why? Because Iran, because they need to, this is the way to justify their incompetence. They can't control the inflation. Today, they announced the inflation, 88%. 88% inflation is, it's, I don't even have a word to describe that. So what they benefit from is to create this tension, to keep the oil prices above $80 a barrel, and like internationally, and also like attacking is kind of respond to their base in Iran, because they're not like the government for all Iranians, just for their own supporters, okay? So it has that domestic use also. It has that. So they say, look, we're taking the revenge of the supreme leader. So it's, but how? How you're going to do it when you're not, it's an asymmetric war. Like everybody thinks, they resist in front of the strongest power. First of all, the strongest military power in the world did not bring their A game to this war. So this is really a false comparison on that matter. And I think people in general, they don't have this image of how a blockade and a strait works. So all you need to do, you don't need mining, you don't need anything. All you need is to threaten the security. So there won't be any insurance. So the ships won't move. There's no transition. That's as simple as that. You don't need any military power. You don't need anything. It's more simple than people think. So you cannot say that America is like military losing to Iran. It's ridiculous. and so, but I understand these empty threats that comes from Trump that I threaten the infrastructure, all that. They're not going to work because Iran, especially if it's targeted to Iranian government, they know that Trump cannot do it. It's against the Geneva Convention, and he has to respond. So they're not responding to anyone, but America and Israel do. So it's not effective. Okay, so the sanction to target the targeted people, the targeted organization, and organize the opposition inside and outside Iran. Facilitate the communications. That's what the dictatorships, the fascist regime, the totalitarian regimes does. They keep people separated. They, the divide and conquer. That's what they do. So bring them together. Look at Bibi. Look at Netanyahu. Look how he addresses Iranian people. He comes and he looks at the camera and he talks directly to people because he knows that they are the boots on the ground. He is using the real resource and the real power, which is the Iranian people who are like 70, 80% against this regime at the verge crimes. Every moment we saw an example of that 2 nights ago. Like again, after all that massacre on February, they